What's going on, YouTube? This is your man Tech Savvy. Today is July 17th, Monday, roughly about maybe 5 p.m. Today I want you to nerd out with me for a minute. What I'm gonna do is basically go over the wiring and installation of LEDs, but I want to show you a startup technique that I believe if you're really trying to get into adding LEDs to your Slingshot or to your Goldwing, this is probably going to be the easiest method for you to follow and to look professional at the same time, even though I'm giving you the basis of a simple setup. Now once you do a simple basic setup, you just can expand from there. So you can start off at a beginner level for installing your LEDs to actually continue to keep adding, continue to grow, continue to add more LEDs until you are ready for a competition level, a light show or something, like a light show competition or something like that. So my goal is today is to break it down to you and show you what some of these installers are not going to share with you. So these are my tips and tricks for the LEDs. Stay tuned. GoPro, stop recording. Hi YouTube, hey, this is your man Tech Savvy. What I wanted to share with you is when you're installing your LEDs as a beginner, this is your first time installing your LEDs, you have 4 zones to start out with. You got your front left, your front right, your rear left, and your rear right. These are the basic 4 zones that you're going to start out with when you're adding LEDs to your LEDs to your slingshot, okay? Front left is dealing with your, say for instance, your headlights, your signal lights. Same with the right side. The rear is dealing with your brake lights, dealing with your signal lights, everything that's in the back, okay? You have 4 different zones because you have to activate all 4 zones in order to have a sequence going around your vehicle or displayed on your vehicle. And I am going to show you by using, I use several LEDs kits on my Goldwing and my Slingshot, but the one that I am most impressed with is going to be the one that I'm always displaying at the light show. This is a controller from Rollin. Eaglemont is the manufacturer. They're out in Belgium. Tom Smolyers is a good friend of mine. We stay in communications. I am not trying to promote the product. What I'm trying to do is give you the basis of installing LEDs on your vehicle if you want to learn how to do it. So keep that in mind. Even though I'm displaying this particular product, I'm actually talking about the simple basic setup for LEDs, okay? So let's get that out the way. Now, LEDs have a controller. No matter what brand you have, it has a controller. The controller is what all your LEDs connect to, okay? You have a positive and negative going to that controller that most likely has to go to your connections dealing with your vehicle. Several ways to do it: fuse box, battery, whole 9 yards. But I'm gonna show you a simple way. Okay, this is going into the and into this side right here is going into more of the customizations and competition type of shows dealing with the electrical side. So this is basically the wiring for your left side, right side, front and rear. But I'm gonna leave this alone because I just want you to do a simple basic setup. Okay, now this particular controller, each one of the zones for this particular controller can run, I'm gonna turn it this way, can run a light strip that is capable of holding 70 LEDs. So this one light strip right here can be ran off of this connection, which we're going to right now call the front left. Okay, this second ribbon is going to be the front right. I'm just giving y'all an example, but the controller itself is actually labeled to show you what zone is running. But for display, I'm showing you guys so I can better suit you to help you understand what I'm doing. Okay, so my front side, my front left side dealing with this controller, I can run a 70 LED. The max I can run is a 72 LED LEDs. This is a 70. Okay. The same for the rear. I can run a full 70 lead strip. So that would give me 70 from the front. I can put 70 on the left, 70 on the right, and then on the back I can do 70 in the back for the left and right. Okay, so that's giving me a maximum of 70, 70, 70, 70, 140, 280. Now, but it's going to be considered 70, 70, 70, 70. So each one of my zones has 70 LEDs, but you put all those 70s together, that is the whole complete light set for this particular controller. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put these out as a display so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So that's my left front. This is my right front. Okay, I got these set up for the right rear and the left rear. So this one controller is able to send a signal out to the LEDs that's on my left front, on my right front, my right rear, and right rear right, and my right and my left and my rear left. Okay, this one controller is able to handle that. Now, this is what's this is a head turner because I want you guys to understand what's actually going on to help you understand why this stuff costs so much money. All right, now hypothetically speaking, let's say this one controller costs $100. This light set for the right, for the rear left is $100. For each one of these zones, this light, these lights, these LEDs, for each one of these zones is $100 a piece. Now keep in mind, I said this is a hypothetical speaking. I'm just throwing out some prices out there so you can understand exactly what you're paying for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5-piece setup would cost you $500. For an installer to install these products, they would charge you anywhere between $65 to $100 per hour in labor. If each one of these devices is being charged $100 an hour, how much do you think you're paying to get this $500 setup installed? You're exactly right. This $500 setup also costs you $500 to get it installed. Guess what, people? That's why I install my own stuff. That $500 that I would pay to have somebody else install it, that's $500 I could use to buy more equipment. And I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to set it up, to simply have this as a display so you can enter into a contest. Now, what all do you think this setup is required to have? Okay, let's go this route. We're going to say this is the vehicle going this way. All right, we're going to say this right here, this device right here is my battery. It is the positive and the negative terminal that's on my battery. This controller has to be connected to my battery, and I'm going to show you exactly how it needs to be connected. Coming from the battery, it needs to have an inline fuse. That inline fuse needs to be at least a 10 amp fuse. Then it needs to, when it's coming back into the vehicle, this wire is coming back to inside the vehicle, it needs to be able to be turned off, because any device you connect to a battery directly and it doesn't have a cutoff switch, then the minute you get it all completed, set up, and turn your connection, connect your battery terminals back, it's automatically going to come on, and it's going to stay on. So coming from the battery, it needs to be wired to a switch. This is a switch, okay? Coming from that switch, let me get all this out the way because I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, coming from that switch, coming from that inline fuse, it needs to be going to a switch. Now, coming from the switch, it needs to be going to the controller. So this is the connection that you're making. The negative needs to be going directly to the battery, coming from the controller. It's just that simple. Now, only thing you have to do is when you get in the vehicle and turn on, make your connection to your battery, turn on your vehicle and turn on your switch. Display the show mode for these lights. You're showing them off and all the whole 9 yards. You enter into a contest, and when the contest is over, you flip your switch, turn the light controllers back off. That is a simple process, and it probably would take you actually about 30 minutes to make that connection, where you paid $500 for an installer to install it. But that's how simple, and that's all you needed to get it going. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to show you this display. I'm going to use this as my battery, and I'm going to set it up and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want to help you understand why you're going to get into it and you're going to want to add more. Most shops are going to tell you, oh, if you come back and you want more light, it's going to be even more expensive. I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is. Okay, now I'm going to pull these back up. I'm going to get all this out the way. Pull all this back out the way, so you should understand how it's connected, okay? Now, remember I said this one controller can hold one strip of a 72 lead. Now keep in mind, you don't have to get a 70 lead straight off the back. You could break it down. As long as you don't exceed the maximum, which is 72 LEDs, you can break it down as much as you want. You can get you two 36s and separate them, have them going in different areas. You might want one to be at the top. You might want one to be at the bottom of your fender in the front. Top, bottom, 36, 36, 72. This one connection can pull both of those lights because they do not exceed 72 LEDs. They are exactly 72 LEDs. So you can pull it off. All right, and it will work. But let's go back to this. If you want to expand and start growing from your startup kit, okay, it's a simple process. To change this setup from the 70 lead to double of that, you simply add an amplifier to the controller. Instead of hooking up the lights to the controller, you will hook up your amp to the controller, and it's going to be marked for you, one for the left, one for the right. Okay, we're going to say this is the left, this is the right for the front. Okay, so that front, this left front right here, we're going to say this is the front. This left front turned from 70 LEDs to a whopping 144 LEDs or 140. Okay, but keep in mind, you do not have to use the full 70 length strength. 70 length LED. You can break it down as much as you want, as long as you're not exceeding the 140. Okay, now let's say you got you another controller. Not another controller. You got your left front, okay? You got your right front, okay? 140, 140. This is for your front because you added a controller, okay? Now, say for instance, you want just as much for the back. Guess what you got to do? Add another amplifier. Now this amplifier is for the back side. So now you increase the back side from 70 to 140. 70 to 140. So now you got 140 going all the way around your vehicle. And this is how easy it is to expand your light system. Now guess what? Say for instance you complete this setup and a couple of months later you want to get more lights. Guess what you got to do? Get you another controller. Now this controller turns this 140 LED to a whopping 280. And the same for this controller right here. You went from 70 starting out to 140 with your second controller, second amplifier. Now your third amplifier, you had a maximum of 280. Going all the way around your vehicle on each zone. Your front zone, your left front zone can take up to 280. Your right zone can take up to 280, and the same for the rear. You'll be amazed how much 280 LEDs end up being. Now, when you reach the show mode competition level, this is what it looked like. Okay, this is what the controllers end up looking like, connecting back to each other. They're all tied into each other. They're all ready. Now this right here, what you're looking at, is a complete full zone, front left, front right, rear left, rear right, 280 LEDs off of this one setup. And all I did was connected it back to my battery using a cutoff switch and an inline fuse. When I want to enter a contest, flip the switch and I'm done. Hopefully I'll win. Okay, now when you reach the competition level, because now you done got enough stuff, now you can start entering into competitions. This is where your zone, all 4 zones that you created on your initial startup, this whole zone is now one zone. You can have the whole 1,000 LEDs on your left side. You create another one, you have another 1,000 or so LEDs for the right side. Create another one, you have 1,000 leads going all the way around your vehicle in each zone from the third one. and then again on the fourth one. So now you went from a 70 70 70 70 to 1,000 1,000 1,000 1,000 plus LEDs. Now your vehicle is covered in LEDs, and you started out by simply spending $500, and when you had some money, you just started buying the little extra pieces until you got to this level. Once you made it to this level, you say, oh man, I want to enter in competition. So now you know what it takes to hook this one zone up. You added 3 more zones, or you added 3 more. Now each one is covered. Each zone is covered with nothing but lights. And now you out there showing up. And guess how much money you spent on labor? You spent nothing, because you did it yourself, and everything is working. And that's how simple it was. Now if you want to get into the level of actually having it connected back to the vehicle, I'm gonna put a link in this video in the description of how I did it on my Slingshot, and I'm gonna put another link in the video going back showing you how I did it on my Goldwing. My Goldwing is a 2015. My Slingshot is a 2022. I have installed this product on a 2018 and above Goldwing. I think it was a 2020, and it was somewhat similar to installing it using a trailer wiring kit that I used on the Slingshot. I used it one similar on the 2018 and above Goldwing, and it worked out the same way. So I was able to put the Rollin eyes on a 2015 Goldwing, a 2020 Goldwing, and now I have installed it on my 2022 Slingshot. So when you want to get into that level of how to connect it, going to your battery, so when you turn on your vehicle, that is a little bit too more complicated, but when I did the process, I tried my best to explain it. But to start off and enter contests and start winning some trophies, this is as simple as it get right here. Now what I'm gonna do is take that initial setup that I told you about, which was my startup kit. I'm gonna hook up each one of these lights in each one of the zones, hook it up to a wiring, a inline fuse coming from my battery, going back to my cutoff switch, going back to my controller, and then I come back after I hook it up and flip the switch for you and show you exactly what it is. Okay, y'all hold on. GoPro, stop recording. Alright YouTube, I'm ready to demonstrate this for you, and I'm starting here because I want to show you exactly what I'm doing. Like I told you, I have the inline fuse connected to my battery. Then from the inline fuse, I have a cutoff switch, and from the cutoff switch, it's going back to the controller. Okay, the negative is coming from the controller, going directly back to the battery. Now, the LEDs that's connecting to the controller. Now, for the Rollin eyes, you have to insert the 3x6 pins inside of the connection here, and you have to make sure that the red side lines up with the red side. I'm hoping you all can see this. Alright, this red side coming from the controller, so the red side coming from the ribbon, they have to line up, push them in together. Alright, and the rest of the lights, they're the same way. Since this ribbon is red, it's on the right, it's on this side, then the rest of the ribbons is going to be the same way, so I have to line them up. Okay, connected. Now connected. I'm missing one, and it's going to be this one. So now I got all my zones of my lights connected, going back to the controller. Now for my battery, I'm gonna be using this is actually a DC converter. I'm gonna be using this converter here as my battery, the connection going back to the top post, the positive and negative. Okay, this switch right here is going to demonstrate I'm turning my slingshot on. As you can see, nothing is on, right? Now the switch that's inside the cap with me is turned off. Once I flip the switch, it should automatically, all the lights should come on, and it goes straight into the demonstration. Alright, this is called show mode. Alright, now there's another thing that I need to mention. When you first connect dealing with the Rollin eyes, you're only going to get roughly about a 36 LED connection. The rest of them is cut off. Okay, and it's doing that for a purpose, because it's telling you in order to use all these lights, you have to go to the maximum setting on the controller. And the only way to do that is to Bluetooth your controller back to your phone and change it from the 32 or 36 LEDs that's on the strip, change it to the max of what you have on each zone, which is going to be 70 and 72. You need to change it out to 70 and 72. And then the rest of the lights will be showing. So once you make this connection right here, I'm showing you this is all you need to enter into the light show or into any competition. And once you make the connections by Bluetooth on your phone, you can set up any rhythm pattern that you want. You can set up whatever maximum that you went with for the LEDs. Now, even though if you add your amplifiers, when it's talking about maximum LEDs, it means the longest length of the LED that's in the system, period. So since 70 LEDs for Rollin eyes is the longest strip you're going to get, then 70 to 72 is what you need to be setting it on in your Bluetooth connection on your phone. And believe it or not, this looks good as a startup on your Slingshot. Now, once you start up and you started adding all these amplifiers, all your connections start doubling up. That $500 that you paid over a shop to do it, you took less than 30 minutes and was able to spend that $500 on a whole complete nother setup. And that's how you get it done. Learn how to do this stuff yourself. Tips, tricks, I'm telling you, learn, because it's gonna save you money. I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me turn off my strip with my flip switch. Let me turn off my Slingshot, and I'm done. I love this stuff. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed my video. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Am I helping you guys out at all? Let me know, man. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Talk to y'all later. That's my spiel for tonight. GoPro, stop recording.